The planet Cronus. Beset on all sides by the tides of war, this once quiet colony became a savage battlefield. 7 armies clashed on this one world, each refusing to back down. Each convinced it was in the right. From beneath the sands of Cronus' central desert came the Necrons, ancient machines bent on eradicating all life. But another evil already had its eyes on the planet. From the depths of the warp, the demonic forces of chaos arrived to enforce their claim. To oppose these fearsome powers, the planet's rulers in the Tau Empire sent their elite soldiers and sophisticated battlesuits into the fray. From the mighty Imperium of Man came the Imperial Guard, there to secure Cronus for the glory of the God Emperor. Like a green tide, the Orc horde descended on Cronus, caring little for others' claims and sowing destruction in its wake. The Eldar, ancient enemies of the Necrons, emerged from their webway to pursue their own agenda on Cronus. And last came the Space Marines, finest and most uncompromising of the Imperium soldiers. Seeing a world beset by aliens and heretics, they undertook a great purge. A Dark Crusade had begun. It could only end with the total victory of one of these factions, and the total defeat of all others. In the depths of Craftworld Ulthwé, the Eldar Farseer Taldir foresaw the return of the Necrons and their campaign of galactic genocide. She had driven the Imperial Guard on Lorn 5 against this ancient foe, but the threat remained real. When the Necrons rose on Cronus, Taldir faced a new problem. This planet on the galaxy's edge was beyond the reach of the Eldar webway. Instead of traveling from the Craftworld via this ancient system, Taldir's forces arrived aboard her wraith ship, the Vision of Lilith. This alien vessel hid at the edge of the system while an advance party took a small shuttle to the frozen wastes of Tyria. There, they erected special gateways linked to the holds of the Vision of Lilith. The Eldar found the planet in a sorry state. The Necrons were on the march, and the assortment of other powers on Cronus could not be trusted to stop them. Abandoning her habitual manipulations, Taldir ordered her forces to begin an all-out conquest of Cronus. If none of the Mon-Kai would stop the Necrons, the Eldar would do it themselves. Upon arriving on Cronus, General Lucas Alexander became Governor Militant and set about reclaiming the planet for the Imperium. When his enemies launched attacks on his capital, he prepared to repel them with extreme prejudice. Experts in planetary defense, the men of the Imperial Guard were heavily dug in and fortified in Victory Bay. Any attacker would face well-armed and well-supplied soldiers, backed by powerful armored columns and artillery positions. The Guard's only real weakness was its morale. Although most soldiers served honorably, the men of the regiment's 5th Company had proven less than stalwart and were placed under command of Regimental Commissar Anton Gebet in a forward base on the northern shore of the Victoria River. Without Gebet's whip, the company and its base would surely fold. Other companies took position in forward bases in more sensitive areas, ready to drive the enemy off. Still, determined attackers could overrun those positions. Governor Alexander remained confident, however. Indeed, any opponent who made it past his forward positions would find themselves staring down the barrel of the massive Hellstorm cannon of an Imperator Titan.
Fifth Company, this is the moment of truth. You will not fear. You will not falter. You will not give a single step to the enemy.
But sir...
If you will not serve in combat, then you will serve on the firing line.
Enemies of the Imperium, hear me. You have come here to die. The immortal Emperor is with us and we are invincible. His soldiers will strike you down. His war machines will crush you under their treads. His mighty guns will bring the very sky crashing down upon you. You cannot win. The Emperor has given us his greatest weapon to wield. So make yourselves ready. We are the 1st Cronus Regiment, and today is our victory day.
Go, go, go! On my command, fire the Titan cannon. Fire! Begin recharge. I want that gun firing again.
We can't hold them back much longer. We can't allow the Titan cannon to fall into their hands. Overload the core.
For the Emperor!
Haldir's manipulation of the Imperial Guard on Lorne 5 had resulted in her branding as an enemy of the Imperium. General Lucas Alexander had led his troops against her ever since. When the Farseer at last sent her troops into Victory Bay, both sides knew that this long chase was finally over. Alexander's men fought with bravery until the end. But the Eldar's combination of stealth, speed, and alien ruthlessness overwhelmed them. The hunt for Farseer Haldir ended with the swing of an alien blade. The tech priests in Victory Bay sabotaged the great Hellstorm cannon there, lest it fall into Eldar hands. But the Farseer still ordered her Bone Singers and Guardians to load the mighty gun with distort charges. When these warp power weapons detonated, they shattered the cannon into countless pieces. If there was any hope at all of ever restoring this mighty weapon to the Emperor's service, the Eldar dashed it forever. The Space Marines of the Blood Ravens chapter were well entrenched in their castellum in North Vandia when they finally faced an all-out attack. Utterly unwilling to surrender or retreat any further, the Blood Ravens prepared a mighty defense against the coming assault. Among those defending the keep were Space Marines drawn from the chapter's hallowed First Company. These were the hardened veterans of many crusades, each man ready and able to face down whole squads of enemy attackers. The Blood Ravens on the ground would be further bolstered by fresh troops arriving from the battle barge Litany of Fury in orbit around the planet. Only two factors made the Blood Ravens at all assailable in their stronghold. Most critically, the fortress was unable to receive reinforcements directly from orbit. Captain Thule thus had to establish a forward base to receive drop pods and landing craft. Although well defended, this base could be taken. Secondly, the Space Marines had established their base near ancient ruins, which the Ravens claimed held relics of great importance to the chapter. Unwilling to desecrate the space by fortifying it, Thule opened the door to an enemy claiming the area and thus dealing a powerful blow to the normally unbreakable Space Marine morale. The Battle of North Vandia would be one of the bloodiest of the entire war.
The enemy is at our doorstep and thinks he can push us off this world. He is already gloating. He can taste his victory. But what he fails to see is that we will make this his last meal. The Chief Librarian has ordered the purge of this world to protect our chapter's secrets. Are we to retreat with our duty unfulfilled? Are we to let a black mark stain the banner of the Blood Ravens? I say that we will not. I say our enemies will regret the day they ever decided to face us in battle. Our battle barge orbits overhead and will rain the Emperor's holy fury upon our opponents. More of our brothers will come to join the fight. But as ever, our enemy outnumbers us. Each of you must be an army in your own right. Veterans of the First Company, the finest of the entire chapter, stand with us. Let their valor guide your fire into the enemy's heart. Remember that we are Blood Ravens, brothers. We have all sworn to protect fonts of hidden knowledge. Each one of us must fall before handing this word to the enemy. The Emperor is with us. The unknown Primarch is with us. They have come for our blood, but they will drown in their own.
As we shape it.
Reinforcements have arrived! To battle, Blood Ravens!
For the Emperor!
No! We cannot fail.
The gene seed must be preserved. Get Captain Thule to the Thunderhawk. Understood. Join the Brother Apothecary. We will cover your escape. And you? We cannot allow the enemy to claim our relics. This area must be cleansed with orbital fire. The chapter will honor you, brother. There is no honor to be had in defeat. But someone must deliver the targeting beacon. Orbital control. Lock onto this beacon and fire. Full power.
The Eldar assault on North Vandia broke the back of the Blood Ravens' presence on Cronus. Not only did Taldir's forces kill many of the finest warriors in the chapter, but they claimed many of the relics the Blood Ravens were so anxious to hide. Although Chaplain Miklas sacrificed himself to destroy at least some of the chapter's dark secrets, others fell into Eldar hands. Taldir's warlock's treatment of the corpses of fallen space marines was even more galling to the surviving Blood Ravens. As if expecting them to be the source of some pestilence, the alien sorcerers incinerated every last Blood Raven body left in North Vandia. This made any planned operations to return to Cronus and recover the gene seed from the fallen Battle Brothers pointless. The chapter vowed revenge for the loss of its valuable gene stock. When the tide of war turned against the Tau, they faced attack in their stronghold in the city of Asharis, renamed Tashin by the aliens. The aliens were well entrenched, however, and ready to mount a vigorous defense. Shas Okais, the Tau military leader, made his headquarters in a mighty citadel in the city's center, forcing attackers to wend their way through the tight city streets, exposed to sniper fire and ambushes. Outlying bases in different quarters of the city supported his strategy, with Krut warriors and powerful armored units harassing attackers even further. The Tau's only strategic vulnerability was Unity Plaza, the city's main public space. A sophisticated communications tower there could potentially be used by an attacker to expose the stealth units positioned across the city. Okais knew, however, that his attacker's ultimate objective would be assassination, not conquest. Onel Shiorez, a member of the mysterious ethereal caste, led the Tau forces from the citadel in Tashin. Were he to die, Tau forces would crumble. But as long as the ethereal lived, the Tau would defend Tashin against all comers.
Okais, are the troops ready?
Yes, Ornell. The Earth Caste is completing construction of the Montcar command post. Our armored units are ready to deliver the killing blow.
And our Krut allies?
Also ready, Ornell. The Kayun command post in the city's Krut quarter is prepared, and the Shapers have readied the finest of their warriors. Stealth teams are taking position across the city, ready to strike where the enemy is weak. Strike teams of fire warriors and Krut packs will defend the streets and meet the enemy head on.
Excellent, Commander. Patch me through to the troops, please.
Soldiers of the Fire Caste, Krut and Vespid allies, today we stand as a bulwark against the selfish, the soulless, and the mad. Today, we must drive back our enemies from our city and from our world. Today, more than ever before, we fight for the greater good, and we will triumph! Enemy has taken the Unity Plaza communications array. Team Sigma, they are targeting the array to disrupt your stealth fields. Fall back.
dead. We cannot win. Fall back, now! All forces, fall back. Evacuate the city. We will return on El to Tau for burial. There is nothing left for us here.
The Eldar assault on Asharis pitted speed against speed and stealth against stealth. Ultimately, it was the ancient sorceries of Taldir and her seer council that prevailed over the alien technologies of the Tau defenders. The death of the Tau's ethereal ruler broke their morale, and Taldir simply allowed Shas Hokais to withdraw from Cronus. The Eldar showed utter contempt for their enemies, and simply left Asharis to its fate once the Tau had withdrawn. In the wake of the battle, humans freed from centuries of alien bondage took to the streets and exacted some measure of justice upon the Tau civilians left behind. Revenge led to madness, and soon Asharis was ablaze. Farseer Taldir having as much concern for the lives lost there as a man might for the ants under his feet. Those opposing Warlord Gorgut's headhunters Green Tide faced the same challenge the Tau had faced on Cronus for generations. Pushing the orcs back from the deserts and cities was one thing, but dislodging them from the jungle was another altogether. Even the legendary Tau leader, Commander Farsight, had failed to purge the orc-infested swamps of the Green Coast. Still, a complete purge wasn't necessary to break Gorguts. The warlord had cobbled together his great horde, or Wa, in the parlance of the alien, from a large number of fractious clans and tribes. So long as the warlord led the Wa to victory, their clan's loyalty was assured. But with enemies assailing them in their very homes, discontent reared its head among the orcs. Secondary chieftains wondered if they might not make better warlords than Gorguts. With these fissures in the Wa widening, the orcs' enemies struck. They drove deep into the Green Coast, hoping to eliminate Gorguts himself and plunge the horde into infighting and rebellion. For Warlord Gorguts, the only solution was to crush the attackers under unrelenting waves of orc warriors.
You think you can sneak about without me boys seeing ya? You think you can come for me, Ed? Orcs is never beaten in battle. Shut it, you grot! The rest of them are coming and we got to be ready. Tell the boys there's some killing to do. I made them big banners to remind the clans that they better keep their boys in line. I don't want no squigheads looking to fight me when the enemy's right here. Gorguts is the war boss. Got it, you mudsuckers? This here voicey box let him talk to you. So open your ears. Listen up, you grots and squids. They's coming for us like we some kind of human kits, but we ain't. We's the orcs, and this here is gonna be one great fight. So get your choppers and your shooters ready, boys, 'cause there's some killing to do. Head crossers, you ready? For
can't stop us! Here's squiggles and shots ready! Burner boys! You wanna fight? Rocket Rangers! You in it or what? And what about yous, quick mix? You gonna let these other runts get all the good fighting done? That's right, we gonna crush 'em all. This here is a right and proper war!
Gus ain't so tough. Get him!
Ain't no grot lovers gonna leave me war! Chop 'em up, boys!
Boss! The head crushers! He's rebelling!
I can see that, you squid farmer! Shut your yap and get back to killing!
But killing who, boss?
Surprise for you!
The boss? Who is getting shot up?
Ain't you the master of the obvious? Use explosives!
The what?
The bomb, you git! The bomb! Always have your tunnels dug and ready.
You sure is smart, boss.
Shut it, you git! I got me a whole war to rebuild. Now get me the gawk off of this here planet.
Taldir's forces struck like a razor-sharp blade into the heart of the great orcish horde, decapitating the Wa and plunging the remaining orcs into destructive infighting. Showing their contempt for the brutish warriors, the main Eldar force withdrew from the Green Coast immediately after it had disposed of Warlord Gorguts. Only a small cadre of rangers and a single warlock remained in the jungle, using their chameleoline cloaks and other devices to remain hidden from the warring clans. Anytime a chieftain seemed to be gaining enough stature to assemble the orcs into a viable force, the rangers assassinated him, plunging the wild aliens into another cycle of infighting. Meanwhile, the warlock Inimaya, a member of Taldir's Seer Council, repeatedly offered poisonous aid to various orc chiefs, sending them at each other's throats and keeping the race as a whole weak. In a foul shrine in the Deimos Peninsula, lost souls summoned the Black Apostle Eliphas to Cronus. There, the Word-Bearers raised their black temples and launched their assault on the world. Eldritch energies split the earth with abyssal fissures and remade the lush jungles into a nightmare landscape, pulsing with ruinous energies. A master demagogue, Eliphas made an advantage of the fractious nature of those bent to chaos. Instead of relying on a unified defense, he allowed his champions and cult leaders to establish their own satellite temples, where they could pursue their own dark rituals. Any attacker who hoped to defeat the Word-Bearers would have to run a bloody gauntlet of heretics, including some of the Legion's most veteran Chaos Space Marines. Indeed, killing the heretics on Cronus was pointless so long as the Great War Portal in Eliphas's Bastion remained open. The dark spells of the sorcerers Amphion and Zathus maintained this massive rend in the fabric of creation, granting Eliphas endless reinforcements. So long as the Deimos portal remained open, there could be no victory on Cronus.
With the 37 keys of Tzeentch, we open the way for our brothers. With the 1,000 whispers of Slaanesh, we call to them. With the 12 plagues of Nurgle, we fell their enemies. And with the mighty axe of Khorne, we cut open the world for them.
Yes. Come forth to bear the word of chaos. Hear my warnings, unbelievers, carried to your minds by the power of the Prince of Excess himself. We have raised altars in this land, so that we may sacrifice you to our gods. Veterans of 10 millennia of unholy war wait to grind you beneath the treads of their mighty boots. The chosen of Khorne hunger to add you to their bloody tally. The blood god himself has marked this land and will claim your skulls for his throne. There is no hope in opposing the inevitable. Put down your arms, unbelievers, and bow before the forces of chaos undivided.
None can stand
It is a poor shepherd who blames his flock apostle. This failure is yours and yours alone.
No, I will not go to the Basilica of Torments again.
Fear not, apostle. The Basilica is reserved for those who may redeem themselves.
No. No!
You will have no such chance.
Although the Necrons were Farseer Taldir's true prey, the Eldar hatred for the ruinous powers of Chaos was almost as great. Legends hold that the Chaos God, Slaanesh, was born from the fall of the original Eldar civilization, and Taldir's followers were anxious to beat back the human heretics who worshipped such a creature. Taldir's most senior aspect warriors led the drive into the Deimos Peninsula, singing the name of the Eldar war god, Kayla Menshakain, as they cut through the madmen, traitor space marines, and demonic filth arrayed against them. With the Chaos Gates closed and the Word-Bearers broken, Taldir ordered her aspect warriors to withdraw. Her warlocks then performed a great cleansing rite. From orbit, kilometer-long runes appeared in bright fire, announcing the Eldar victory for all to see. The full extent of the Necron presence on Cronus did not become clear until those opposing them launched raids into the catacombs under the Thur Abyss Plateau. The first Necron massacres on the planet had occurred there, and their enemies expected to find some sort of alien bastion. Instead, they found an entryway into the underworld. Garbled reports from doomed scouts sent into the cavernous passageways revealed a network of catacombs honeycombing the entire plateau. Some of these now stood hollowed out, while others served as staging grounds for Necron forces. Worst of all, however, were the deeper tunnels, where row upon row of Necrons still stood, slowly waking to join their lord's global genocide. The attackers settled on a dangerous gambit. A strike force would enter the catacombs and plant a massive explosive device deep in the main cavern. An explosion there would collapse the entire network, crushing or sealing off the legions of still dormant Necrons and shattering those already risen. It remained to be seen if anyone could deliver this device, much less escape in time to continue the fight across Cronus.
We must retreat.
At long last you have found the tranquility of death. I was like you once, clinging to life and blind to the truth. When I uncovered the truth, I too shuddered and paled with fear. Deep in these catacombs, I was remade. Here, my brethren slumbered for eons, while the living grew like weeds. My lord knew this day would come. He had plans for us all. We would purge this world once more. So come, poor victims of life. We will grant you tranquility in these crypts. Cronus will be a tomb world once more.
Obey in all things.
You have penetrated but the very surface of our catacombs. More and more of us rise from the depths with every passing moment. My lord, the living are escaping. My lord, the living have...
Farseer Taldir personally led her forces into the catacombs of the Necrons and delivered the massive plasma bomb that collapsed the catacombs, bringing tons of rock down on her foes and many of her own warriors. Perhaps to atone for this, she also led the efforts to recover the remains of the fallen. During this somber triage, Taldir uncovered the Tomb of the Lost, a crypt built eons ago by the Necrons to enshrine the remains of their victims. Within were the remains of several ancient Eldar, warriors in the First War against the Necrons. Taldir would return these to Ulthwé with great ceremony. Perhaps it was the presence of such antediluvian relics that drove the Farseer to complete her conquest of Cronus. Even with the Necrons defeated, she drove her forces forward into the territories as yet unconquered. No rock could be left unturned, she said, lest the Necrons rise anew on this world. The alien mind is strange and mysterious, and Farseer Taldir proved this once again upon her conquest of Cronus. The Eldar had broken all who stood before them, driving back men, alien, and heretics alike. Cronus was theirs. However, instead of securing their hold on the world, or enacting some final gambit, they simply vanished like the ghosts of legend. The Eldar returned to their ship, the Vision of Lilith, which evaded all attempts to track its exit from the Cronus system. Taldir left behind her a planet in anarchy, littered with the corpses of her enemies, and destined to become a lawless backwater for centuries to come. Perhaps that had been her intention all along. Perhaps Cronus itself and the warlords who might have arisen there were the threat Taldir had long foreseen and finally defeated. The truth, like the Farseer's ultimate fate, remains a mystery.